Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Farrah, and today I invite you to join me for a short somatic yoga practice to help you relieve tension in your shoulders, helping you to relieve chronic tension, whether it be physical, mental, or emotional. So all of us have very different bodies. We all have different habits, we've had different experiences. So somatic yoga is not about a one pose fixes all bodies kind of mindset, but rather somatic yoga teaches us to dive deeply inward, to listen to ourselves compassionately, listening to our body as it speaks to us through sensation, and trusting in our instincts, learning to move and stretch in a way that's uniquely beneficial to your individual body, helping you to heal yourself from within. So let's get started. I'm going to invite you to start in a seated position, and that might be on the floor, and if so, maybe you sit the edge of your seat on a folded blanket, pillow, or bolster, or you might decide to sit in a chair, sitting back to allow your spine to be supported and with your feet flat on the floor. So let's take a moment to lengthen our spine from both directions. Allow yourself to root and anchor down through the base and rise up through the crown. And let's start with 3 breaths together. We're going to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. And each time we breathe in, we're going to lift our shoulders up towards the ears and tense and tighten and squeeze any amount. And then on the exhale, you're going to completely let go, completely soften and relax the shoulders, letting them drop down away from the ears. All right. So let's exhale out all of the air from our lungs. And then take a nice, slow, deep breath in, lifting the shoulders up and tense and tighten and squeeze any amount. And then exhale, let them drop and completely relax. And again, nice, slow, deep breath in, lift the shoulders up and tense and tighten and squeeze any amount. And then exhale, let them drop and soften. One more time, deepest breath yet of your day. Lift the shoulders up, tense and tighten and squeeze. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Good. So we do a lot of circular movements within our somatic yoga. And the idea is that we're trying to move unhabitually. So we're moving in different ways and different patterns than we normally do on a daily basis. So I'm going to throw out some options, and I invite you to notice what feels best in your body in this moment. So one option would be to take some heart circles. So leading from the center of your chest and just beginning to take these slow circles in one direction. And they might be big or small. You are in complete control here as you listen to your body. You might pause or hold in a particular area if that feels good. And maybe just allowing yourself to explore in one direction for a little while, and then the other direction, taking those heart circles. And you might notice that one direction feels a little different than the other, and that's completely normal. That's very common. So you might enjoy the heart circles, or maybe you want to take some shoulder circles today. Maybe you roll back and down and forward. So you could explore with big or small circles here, whatever feels good, making sure that you get both directions. Or you might even move one shoulder at a time, just alternating back and forth. So this is about listening to your unique body and just figuring out what feels good in this moment. Your practice will be different every time you arrive onto your mat. So what feels good in this moment? What supports you? What feels good? What helps you begin to unwind and let go of tension? Maybe you're craving some circles within the neck, and all of those muscles are connected down into our shoulders. You might take some neck circles in one direction, followed by the other direction. Again, always feeling free to pause and breathe into any particular areas. And keep the breath nice and slow and steady. So we can use our breath as a focal point to help keep the mind from wandering too far away. So as we move in any type of this circular motion, we're inviting in more fluidity, more synovial fluid, more lymphatic fluid. We're drawing in more circulation of blood to this area. And again, we're moving in a way that we don't normally move. So breaking up some of those chronic tension and holding patterns that we have within our body. So what I'm really inviting you to do here, maybe you even close the eyes and really tune inward, is to move in a way that allows you to unwind and let go. We want this to feel good and nourishing, and to not focus on what it looks like, but to pay more attention to how it feels. So just trusting in the way that your body is craving to move right now. And so you might try the heart circles for a little bit and then move on to the shoulder circles. Or maybe you jump right into those neck circles because you know that you're feeling some tension in the very top of your shoulders in those muscles that connect up through the neck. So let's take about 10 more breaths or so, just moving intuitively, moving organically. You might even break away from those circles a little bit and just move in any way that feels good. Maybe moving one shoulder forward and then back, or dropping the shoulders down and towards your lap. So again, maybe the eyes are closed, or you might just soften your gaze so that you're not distracted about things that are around you in your space, but allowing yourself to compassionately listen inward. So there's no judgment here, there's no preference. We're just being with what is, working with whatever is present in our body right now. So just a few more breaths, letting the body unwind and unravel. Maybe breathing in relaxation, breathing out tension. And then feel free to stay with this intuitive movement, this circling, as long as you need to. And whenever that feels complete for you, let's come back to some stillness and that nice tall spine, and maybe just observe any lingering sensations from your movement. Maybe you feel a little more warmth or some tingling, just noticing whatever you notice. And then if the eyes are still closed, let's gently flutter them open. So I'm going to invite you to take one stretch here. Let's bring our hands behind us. So if you're on the floor, your fingertips or palms could come to the floor behind you. You could grab the back of your chair if you're seated in a chair, or maybe even interlace your fingers behind your back. And now let's just allow some gentle opening here through the chest, and then actively squeeze your shoulder blades together. And let's keep the shoulders down away from the ears and keep lengthening up through the top of our head. So here, helping to correct some of that forward head and shoulder posture by opening through the chest and strengthening those stabilizing muscles in the upper back. So this can be a very beneficial posture, whether you're seated or standing, or maybe adding this in, the interlacing the fingers into one of your other yoga poses as a great way to help correct your posture. So let's take just a few more breaths here. Still actively squeezing the shoulder blades together. And the top of the shoulders heavy and falling away from the head. One final breath. Good. and then slowly release. So now wherever you are, I'm going to invite you to come down onto the floor, onto your back. And you might choose to have a very thinly folded blanket underneath your head for support. And let's come onto our spine with our knees bent. And we're going to be keeping the knees bent here as we work with opening our shoulders so that we're focused on the upper body and we don't have any muscles from the lower body activating or pulling our muscles downward. So let's come into constructive rest. This is also known as knock knee pose. So the feet will be wide, but the knees are going to come together, and we actually want the knees to touch. This is going to help us release muscular effort in the legs. So knees are touching, adjust the feet as needed in order for the knees to come together. And then we're going to start on the left side. We're going to bring the left arm somewhere alongside the head. And you can bend into this left elbow as much as needed. And we're just going to play around here and really feel into this left shoulder area, feeling into the left side of our chest, and just noticing where we hold the most tension, maybe where we feel the most pull or tightness or gripping or holding on. And so it could be finding a position and holding for a couple of breaths to examine, or it could look something like making snow angels with your left arm. So again, just drawing our curiosity into the left shoulder, noticing where we hold the most tension. And we might continue to play around with movement. You could even work with circling the wrist, wriggling the fingers, maybe swaying the head from side to side, or maybe just allowing the head to turn to the right for a few breaths, any amount. Or we might just find this one particular area where we know we're holding tension, where this feels good and sustainable. So we do feel the sensation of the stretch, looking for some balance between relaxation and exertion, but we're not forcing the body. We're not pushing past any edge, creating any pain. So maybe you find just one particular area and breathe and hold and let gravity do all the work. And maybe the back of your hand is flat on the mat. Sometimes the pinky side edge of the hand can come up. So maybe the back of the hand flat, and then just inviting that left arm to become heavy and relaxed, the left shoulder blade melting down. Again, you might close the eyes or just soften the gaze. And here, let's even unclench the jaw and maybe soften the tongue. So we're going to take about 10 more breaths or so, focusing on the left side. So again, completely up to you. This is your practice. Everything I offer is only a suggestion. I'm inviting you to tune into that inner wisdom that you have within and trusting in what your body is asking for, what it's desiring, what it's craving, what it needs to let go of some of this built-up tension that we can hold in our upper body. So whether that's stillness or movement, letting it happen. And then knowing that you can stay working with the left side as long as you need to. There is no hurry. Whenever you are ready, you can switch to the right side. So eventually we'll bring that left arm in. Maybe the hands rest on the belly or along your sides just for a moment. And I invite you to take just a few breaths and to allow yourself to observe any differences you may now notice between the right and the left side. And then eventually we're going to bring that right arm alongside the head. And there most likely is going to be a little bend in your elbow. And first just feeling around, inviting the arm to change position. Maybe just trying a few different areas noticing what feels good, where you're feeling the most pull or holding. Maybe you even begin to snow angel the arm a little bit. And you could circle the wrist, wiggle the fingers, find some gentle movement in the head and the neck. Maybe even let the head just fall to the left any amount for a few breaths. So this side most likely is going to feel different. We often have a tighter side of the body, so don't feel that you have to do the same exact things that you did on the other side, but really trust in whatever this side of your body is asking for. And it might be this continuous exploration, this continuous movement, or maybe you find that one position that feels really good and nourishing and sustainable, and just allow yourself to hold in stillness and surrender to gravity. Again, maybe the eyes are closed, or maybe you're just softening the gaze and taking nice, slow breaths in and out. If you're holding that position of stillness, you might allow the back of the hand to be completely flat on the floor. And let's completely soften into the right arm. Let the right shoulder blade melt down into the floor. Just taking about 10 more breaths or so, focusing on the right side. And if you do notice that one shoulder feels tighter than the other, you can always spend more time on that side. So again, feel free to continue to work with this side as long as you need. And only as this side feels complete to you, you can slowly begin to bring that right arm in. So we're going to take just a few breaths in stillness to allow this short practice to really sink into our system. So you might stay in the knock knee position, or you might extend the legs out long as that's comfortable on your lower back. And arms can come somewhere down along your side. And let's either try and rest on the back of the hands or the pinky side edge of the hands, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, closing the eyes, and just for a few breaths, settling into the idea of stillness and feeling into the weight of your physical form, the weight of your body. And then feeling into the support underneath you. And as you feel into that support, can you give even more of your weight to it? Letting go of all effort within the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Inviting the neck to unclench. Allowing the teeth to slightly separate. Maybe the tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Dropping all expression from your face. Completely letting go. Complete surrender. And now let's gently begin to guide attention back into the breath. And if the legs are extended out long, let's bend back into the knees. Allow yourself to roll all the way over onto one side and take just a brief moment of pause. And thank yourself for taking this ever so important time for you and your body, your shoulders. And then only as you're ready, begin to press yourself up. All right, so hopefully your shoulders are feeling a little warmer, a little looser. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you would like to see more somatic yoga practices from me, please type in the word somatic below in the comments. I always love to hear from you. You might be interested in my free downloadable guide, 8 tools and practices to ease anxiety. I'm going to place a link below. You can also visit my website and find that downloadable guide and my offerings at farrahfayeyoga.com. Again, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. If you like this video, please support me by hitting the like button and subscribe to my channel for more tips to relax your body and mind. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. May there be peace above you, peace below you, peace all around you, peace to your mind, body, and spirit.